My name is Erik Vermeulen. I'm a behavioral economic strategist, and in this series of videos we're going to be looking at 6 mind management principles to help us cope during COVID times. The first mind management principle that we'll be looking at is this concept of understanding that our subconscious mind never sleeps. This is why we dream. This is why we have all those brilliant ideas in those moments just before we fall asleep. Of course, we never write them down or do anything about them, and so many of those disappear. But I want you to think about your subconscious mind like a filing cabinet. Well, not your traditional filing cabinet, because your traditional filing cabinet or file management system on your computer would be very carefully and neatly organized depending on how you organize your world. The easiest way to do that is often to file things alphabetically. So tax returns would go under T, and that's how you would do it. Your subconscious mind, however, has no structure to that filing system. So what it does is that every experience you've ever had gets dumped and filed in the subconscious mind, literally anywhere. It's akin to me coming into your home office or into your office, taking your filing cabinets and emptying everything onto a big pile in the middle of the room. If I were to come to you then and ask me to bring me your tax return file, you're going to tell me to come back next week because it's going to take you forever to find it. Now, what happens in our subconscious mind is while it is disorganized, the easiest way to access that disorganization is through actually relaxing our thinking. And this is exactly what happens when we fall asleep. When we're alert, when we're awake, our mind operates at a particular frequency between 7 and 9 hertz. Above 9 hertz is when we encounter stress and where our mind becomes very ineffective at solving problems. It's when we engage our fight and flight. But as we begin to relax, as we begin to fall asleep, when we get into bed every evening, our mind functioning, that frequency begins to drop. And it goes first into what we call a theta state, which is between 6 and 4 hertz. And in theta state is actually where our mind is at its most effective. That's when we're best at retaining information. That's when we're best at recalling information. And below that is what we call delta state, which is deep sleep. And this explains why we have all these amazing ideas just before we fall asleep. It also, by the way, explains why we sometimes battle to recall information during exams or tests or when we're put under pressure to recall things, because we're then put under pressure. I'm sure you've had that feeling in an exam or a stressful situation where you cannot recall facts, dates, times, etc. But then the minute you remove yourself from that stressful situation, when the exam is over and you walk out, you immediately remember the information you had difficulty recalling not 10 minutes earlier. It's because you begin to relax again and your mind is now better able to access the subconscious. So our first mind management principle is to understand that our subconscious mind never sleeps. And when we know how to harness that to deal with stressful situations, to recall information, it definitely helps us cope during stressful times.